And we are back at the Hartford Civic Center for the second of a back-to-back home-and-home series between the TV YouTube champion Boston Bruins and the Hartford Whalers. And after one period of play, let me adjust the pawn here, move it to the second period. I suppose I could move these playing cards in order to do that. After 20 minutes of play, we have the Boston Bruins too. They got hot in the opening 5 minutes and made it 2-0, but then coming back and pouring it on in the final 15, it was Hartford. And the reason why I'm doing a take two for this video and just playing it from period two, full disclosure, is it was actually 3-2 Hartford. And as much as I want Boston to lose, I went back through the cards and realized that I had played 9 sequences for the opening frame where there should only have been 8. So I'm going to interpret that as they went to video review and ruled that the puck had crossed the line after 20 minutes had been played, and therefore it is just a 2-2 hockey game after the opening frame. It was scoring for Boston. It was Cam Neely actually opened up the scoring for the Bruins. Neely, who didn't see much action that season, he was had quite an injury-plagued 92-93 campaign. It was Neely and also Steve Leach, who started the season on a hot streak and maybe cooled off a little bit, but he's now got 12 goals in the season. In this, my Boston Bruins replay. I suppose since I sort of have to redo the intro, since that got cut off in the first take, but I'll try to do that more quickly this time. This is a replay of a game that was played historically November 28th, 1992. This is for my 1992-93 full season NHL DoC hockey replay. And this is game number, for regular season, it's game number 289 of 1008. So again, it's 2-2 after the opening 20. And yes, coming back and scoring for Hartford, it was Jeff Sanderson. The Joker that came up, and it was the dark Joker. Normally I give it to Verbeek, but Verbeek kicked off the sequence, so I gave Sanderson the goal. Again, probably something that they looked at after the fact to see who had last touched the puck for Hartford. And then tying the game actually was Mark Jansen's late in the period. So, and then Zalapski's goal would have been ruled just after the 20, but Zalapski got an assist. Anyway, we are just over 2 minutes in here. Let's drop the puck to get the second period underway, where, let's see here, it's going to be the Hartford Whalers, again, picking up where they left off. They really came on with lots of momentum late in the first period, but they're unable to play it through to anybody with a scoring chance to the 5-minute mark. It is going to be the Bruins with their first possession. That is Ted Donato. He's having a good season this year for Boston in my replay, but he's unable to set up anybody with a scoring chance. We go to 7.5 minutes, where it's going to be the Hartford Whalers. That is, let's see, 2 bench team player. We're going to say, I can't remember Day's first name. I've got the Whalers roster in front of me. Joe Day. So it's going to be Joe Day for the Whalers. Joe Day, he doesn't have any points this season, but the ace, he will definitely play it through successfully too. Michael Nylander shoots! And with the 3, that'll be stopped by Reggie Lemelin in the Bruins net pretty easily. Lemelin, who let a soft goal go in on Mark Jansen's. Because this was the second of a back-to-back, a home-and-home on back-to-back nights, it's Lemelin in goal for Boston and Frank Pietrangelo in net for Hartford. So that was 7.5 minutes in. Up to the 10-minute mark we go, where it's going to be the Hartford Whalers. Pat Verbeek. Verbeek looking for another assist here, another point. 6-10 Verbeek. Castles from the slot. Castles with the 8, and Hartford will take a 3-2 lead. You take a goal away from them and they get it back. That is Castles from Verbeek. And the ace of diamonds is going to be Zalapski. So Zalapski now up to 27 points in the campaign. Castles with the goal, that's his 9th. He's up to at least 32. I think he also factored in to the first goal. I'm going to have to check that video that I cut off in order to update the stats fully. But Castles now with at least 32 points, and Verbeek as well. I believe that's assist number 25 for him on the season. So 10 minutes in, and it's 3-2 Hartford. Is Boston at risk here of losing their YouTube championship, or have I spoken too soon? Where Patty Poulin, that is a 9. To the Jack, Terry Yake. And Yake with a blackjack. Even Lemelin will be able to stop that, but I'm not going to injure anybody, as I could, as per the rules in this game. I've mentioned it before. So 2 and ace, that'll be Steve Comroy here off the bench for Hartford. And Comroy's play, 10. Comroy in the offensive zone to Eric Weinrich. Actually tees it off from the point, but unable to penetrate the pads of Lemelin, let's say. So we have Weinrich here once again here with the 8. Easy for me to say. Let's see. Zalapsky. So a cross point pass. Zalapsky with a shot, but Kings and Red Queens. Lemelin with a good stop once again. I don't want to make the mistake that I made at the end of the first period. I'm going to count them live. 4, 7, 10, 12, 15, 18, 21, 23, 23. But we had a couple of team players and that goal that was scored. So I've used 31 cards, but again, 28, but then there were 3 exceptions there. So this is the 8th and final sequence of the second period where it's Glenn Wesley trying to draw even here for Boston, but the 4, he's unable to play it to anybody in the offensive zone with a chance at scoring. So after 40 minutes of play, I'm going to pause and shuffle. This is the intermission. The score is 3-2 Hartford over Boston. Back for the third with Hartford up 3-2. Should it be tied after 60? Much to my chagrin, as per how it was played in history, I will do a 5-minute overtime, a 5-on-5 overtime period. But starting things off here in the third period, it's going to be Zarley Zalapsky for the Hartford Whalers, once again a 7. And he finds Michael Nylander in waiting. Nylander with another scoring chance in the 8th. He needs an ace or a 9 to 10. I was about to say he made good on it. I'm glad I stopped myself just a little short of doing that with the 10. That's Murray Craven. Murray Craven, who scored the game winner in overtime in real life in this one. Craven with a 6. Looking to set somebody up. Gives it to Mark Janssens, who's looking for his second of the night. Janssens with the Joker does exactly that from Murray Craven. It is a 4-2 game here. Janssens from Craven. Could we be looking at new TV YouTube champions? Or again, am I speaking too soon? Do I sound too excited that Boston can finally lose on my desktop? Let me see here. Yake with the secondary helper from Janssens and Craven. It is a 4-2 game for Boston. 5 minutes into the third period. 4-2 for Hartford. I'm so used to saying that Boston's winning. And that's going to be a Hartford team bench player. The King, that's Joe Day. Was that in the first video or the second now? What is time anymore? Anyway, Joe Day. Joe Day with a 5, but they need either an ace or a 10 to play it through to anybody with a scoring chance. So we burned 2 more cards. It feels like I burned a lot of cards for 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Even with the goal, so we're 3 sequences deep. So let's go to the 4th one here to the 10-minute mark. That is Dave Reed for Boston with the 3. Punts it, has to get off the ice. So to the 12.5-minute mark here in the third period, where it's going to be Ted Donato this time. Donato with the ace automatically through. Donato finds David Shaw and waiting. He needs an ace or a 9 or 10, and he gets only a 7. That's not going to suffice. To the 15-minute mark, now it's Adam Oates trying to make something happen here. Oates with a 9. Oates will find Vladimir Ruzicka, who needs an ace or a 6 to 10, and Ruzicka makes it a 1-goal game. Tight down to the wire here with 1. I think that should be 1 sequence left. I think I got a little too excited for Oates. I'll do a card recount here really quickly. So Ruzicka from Oates, and the 9 of clubs is Ruzicka once again. So let me see here. We have remaining, we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27 cards, meaning that 27 have been played. And there were 2 goals and 1 team bench player, so 7 sequences are done. So I think Boston will have to pull Lemelin here for this final sequence to try to tie the game and send it into overtime. And it's a queen, which means somewhat anticlimactically, I guess, that Jeff Sanderson here for Hartford. Maybe the Whalers will look for an empty net goal, but that's still going to be gobbled up and taken away by the Boston Bruins team defense, even though with Boston playing 6-on-5, it would, how does that? No, it lowers their defense by half a step. It would lower Hartford's defense by half a step. Anyway, I'm going to assume that Boston was able to gobble it up. I ran out of time to generate a scoring chance. So there you have it. There's your game. And the Hartford Whalers continue to some extent overachieve here. My replay now, I'm trying to remember if I talked about that in the first video or the second. I think it was the first one where I talked about how Hartford, again, in real life, they've repeated history here. Same final score, 4-3. The only difference is in real life, they did it in OT, and it was Murray Craven scoring the game winner in real life. Here, he set the game winner up, I guess, because, they needed that second goal from Janssens late because Boston came back there with Ruzicka. But Hartford in real life with the win, they improved, quotation marks to air quotes, to 6-16-1, and Boston fell to 13-7-2. In mine, what this means is that Boston has lost just their fourth game in 22. They fall, air quotes again, to 17-4-1. They're still running away with the league lead in the standings thus far. So they fall to 17-4-1. And actually, that is their first loss. Now, I wonder if PJet's tuning in. I will check that. They've won, let me see here, I don't want to miscount here. So they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games in a row? Is that, yeah, Hartford and Boston, that is correct. So 13 games in a row that they won. Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3, oh no, wait. No, I started, okay, no, they beat Edmonton. They lost to Calgary, and then after that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or no, 8 and then 1 tie, but then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Technically a 15 game unbeaten streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 15 game unbeaten streak with a tie against Toronto. And they've been red hot lately as well. They just won a game in this desktop earlier this morning in between. But the Boston Bruins here have lost their first game in 16 to their New England area rivals, the Hartford Whalers. So I don't think I've done it so far in the second take, and I'm sorry that I didn't do it after goals 3 and 4 for Hartford. So allow me to in the outro. If you thought this video was bad earlier, wait until you hear how monotone I am when I go dun 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 dun. All right, thanks again for any time, any consideration that you give to anything like this. It's never expected, but it's always appreciated. And have a great day. Go enjoy your games. Bye for now.